Fella.
My man.
There he is, buddy. How you been, man? I haven't seen you. When is the last time I saw you? I was trying to think.
First of all, cheers.
There you
It's
go.
been a minute. I think it's been a week. I left last Saturday, Nash Vegas. So
Hey,
anyway, I flew back this morning. You know, I thought I'd come into to the studio HallPass. Our team here, by the way, has left for Vegas officially. They are officially at the Summer League setting up shop. So I'm going to drink all the Labatt Blue Light they have in the fridge right now.
grab all those, bring them down to the beach. Grab them all.
Oh, by the way, July 4th weekend here. The beach is just rocking, huh?
Buddy, I was there the other. Yeah, I went there for a little shout out to Dory Deli, Gabriel family. If you're ever in Newport Beach down on the peninsula, check it out. Man, I'm telling you, Updogg, if I could have just had a time machine and jumped in one back to what, 2015, kid, or what year? I would have just jumped in it. Hot tub time machine, poured the thing in, and just came back playing in the National League. It was just young people everywhere, dude. I felt old, but the beach was humming.
I know our boy Lupo. You know, thanks for him coming on the pod. A lot of good feedback from there. I don't know about Princey on our socials, but all my buddies back home are fired up just to get old Lupo speaking again on our podcast. But he got back today, so he's texting me from the beach. You got to get over here. The bikinis are just flowing here. You know, I'm like,
I can imagine.
Buddy, I'm like, I got to get to work here. Me and Ob's got to catch up. It's been a week.
Yeah, it's called a job, Loops. Fuck, maybe get one day here. How much fucking? Oh, hey, Loops, how much did you ever pay tax in your career or what, bro? Hey, what's all this money you got coming in, dude? Because I saw how you spent it.
Hey, so by the way, it's been a great week, busy week. I was just with the family in Aspen, and then, but you know, touching on the Nashville trip, I left last weekend and. For the awards ceremony. Never been to an awards. By rights, I never deserved to be, but it was great. It was great to be there. I met a lot of great guys. Listen, Connor McDavid out one night with him and his family. Ran into Jack Hughes, who's just an absolute stud. And then our boy Matty Tkachuk. Well, a highlight of mine was sitting with his buddies from St. Louis at Tootsie's one afternoon, just catching up, crushing some beers. We FaceTime you, Obes. You're at the airport heading out to your golf tournament, but great kid. Good weekend for him. I didn't see Big Walt, though. I didn't stick around Tootsie's long enough to see Big Walt. Would love to run into him. But.
Yeah, Jack Hughes had another great comment when they asked him if he's a gentleman. He's like, yeah, I hold the doors for girls. I hold the door for women. Yeah, I was like, this guy's great in front of the mic. Good shade, nice shades on.
He did. He was dressed well. He's just a good kid. And Frosty's always said it, you know, to us is, you know, boys, you guys would love this kid. He's got everything in him. All the tools from the way he treats the staff to just his personality, how much fun he's having, how sick he is on the ice. I got to get a conference call here in the old conference room. Someone's calling the phone here.
Is that Bettman on line one? Tell Bettman to fucking raise the salary cap. Hey, Bettman, raise the salary cap.
Hey, it's a draft table here. What do we got for second pick? Yeah, I'll give you someone. Yeah. Okay. See you in Spain.
I'll give you a seventh. For the big rig, I'll give you a seventh rounder.
Where were we?
Oh yeah. So do you think Ike's and Stone and all the boys, are they still in Vegas? Have you heard from those guys at all, or like because they've been with the Cup a lot?
They have. I don't know. No, you know what? There was a few of the boys were in Nashville. I saw White Cloud. You know, I saw. Yeah. Actually, I just saw White Cloud, but there was a couple representation of the boys there.
Well, he had the cup in Nashville, White Cloud. White Cloud he had the cup.
He had the cup. I didn't see the cup, but I definitely seen him. And you know what? Our boys from 36 Vineyards, we got a couple special treats, couple gifts for some friends of ours, Shane. They're going to do up some nice bottles. But I text Ikes and I said, listen, these guys want to send you guys some nice wine for your party. So he told me it's July 14th. So he's got a couple weeks.
Ike's cup party is?
Couple weeks, yeah.
Oh, nice. Safe to say he's probably hasn't been in the gym yet. Like I say, he's probably just a couple steamers, a little soak here and there.
I mean, it's just the sauna preparation, you know, sweat it out in the morning, jump in the cold plunge and get after it again.
I got a couple more things I want to talk to about the NHL awards when we get to Uppy's world here, but I got to say one thing about Pine Canyon. Shout out to my boy, Brad Richardson. Pine Canyon is a little hidden gem up in Flagstaff. A lot of baseball players. Beauty, Dan Marley, the old basketball player for the Phoenix Suns. Absolute beauty. Played against Jordan. Played with Barkley. This guy's he's old pro ups. He was like,
Yeah.
what a beauty, man. Like just sitting around talking to him. Great place. I mean, if you have a family like you don't even leave the premises, man. Like you bomb around in golf carts. They got these scooters that the people at the Grove bomb around in. You know those the caddy scooters?
Of course.
Pools, everything, daycare. It's an adult paradise and a kid's paradise. It was unbelievable. 4 days though, man. Are you like I'm still drinking? I'm still drinking water. I mean, literally, Updogg. The way I felt leaving there, I don't know, man. Like I don't know if I've ever felt that bad. It was something like I was in one.
It's the dry heat. The dry heat, and then probably the birdie. What was it? Birdie shots, or what were you guys playing? Like every time you guys make a birdie, do a shot, or were you just getting pinned the whole time?
Well, I'll tell you what. We were in the 8th flight. I shouldn't have been in the 8th flight, but I will say this: if you're in any flight in a member guest, and this would be the only knock on Pine Canyon because everything else about it was amazing. The staff was next level. The people were so nice. The women that worked there were beautiful and nice, and it was just a great. It has a family feel to it. But the guys in our flight, they took it pretty seriously. Maybe that's why we didn't win, but they weren't drinking enough to my expectations, and they weren't really playing music in their carts. We were the only group playing music in our carts. I was like, I expected a little more. Even though we're the 8th flight, nobody outdrank us. I can tell you that. I bet you in 4 days, and I'm not exaggerating, I had over 100 vodka soda splash OJ. Over 100. Easily.
Write that down.
4 days.
That's got to be some sort of record.
Over 100, I guarantee you.
That's impressive. So
right?
It was a Tuesday to
25
Thursday.
a day.
I thought you told myself that you were done with the 3-day or more golf tourneys. You went for a 4-day, you crazy bastard?
Yeah, I was done. The only reason I lifted my suspension was because it was Brad Richardson. And I told Richie that. If it was anybody else, Rich, I wouldn't have done it. You know, maybe Gretz. Maybe if Gretzky invites me. You know how much I love Gretz right now. If Gretz invites me, maybe Coop. There's a couple of guys I might lift it for, but 4 days it's too much. The practice round, not needed. But Jess, his beautiful girl, was there. His daughter, Bowie, is gorgeous. And she's got a lot of riches in her. She's a go-getter. She's a go-getter. Yeah. Her and Izzy could be friends someday. I could see her and Izzy bombing around a Sprinter van in Hollywood one day, I think.
Let's not go there because that day will be here sooner than later. Hey, so happy Canada Day, boys. We're a day late. My great highlight, our boy Sheldon Walitsky had us over for a good solid Canada Day shift. We barbecued 3 massive tomahawk Kobe ribeyes. We did 20 burgers, 20 Kobe beef burgers on the grill. So we cooked all day. He had those hockey nets out. I'm sure, Princey, great job just sharing the wealth on my double snipe there. But we were shooting pucks, rock climbing, riding around on quads. We had loops there, Cody. So we had a good representation of Canadian guys for Canada Day. But what a beautiful place. All the kids in the pool. Izzy went down her first water slide ever. Just an amazing day. So shout out to Sheldon. What an absolute class act.
Guy's a beauty. Guy's an absolute beauty. So Uppy's World, party time. Excellent. Okay, you touched on the intro, but I saw the clips. They were fucking coming out. Like there was a 2-1-2-4 check with the clips on social media here. Like Princey, good job. Fucking Updogg was just fucking shaking and moving and fucking. I had his Johnny V jacket on. I mean, how much preparation did it go into it? How drunk were you? Did you have any beers going in? Were you sober going in? Talk me through the process of getting prepared to host the YouTube show. I was interested as your co-worker.
Totally. So shout out. I had a professional with me, Kathryn Tappen, hockey's best female. I think, Jackie Redmond's up there. I love Jackie. Obviously, we love Jackie. She's the best. Kathryn's been around for, forever. She's been a rock star. I got to know her a little bit over the years, but, having a chance to just do this show with her made it a lot easier. Let me tell you that. Obi, not much planning. Got to be honest. I knew a list of guys coming in. I knew a list of girls presenting. So I knew what kind of flow was going to be in the room. And we just, our boy, Matt Nicholson, he's a runner, man. This guy doesn't stop. He was out there just grabbing guys. And I said, listen, find Matty Tkachuk, find Jack Hughes, find Clayton Keller, hit up, I had,
find Nicole Kidman, grab Nicole Kidman if you see her there.
Hey, Brett Kissel came by right off the hop, right? So that set the tone. It was just a great listen. It was a great little setup. I had the white jeans on. I had the fucking purple Johnny V jacket. We have, we laughed, we shot the shit, we talked outfits, we talked music, we talked entertainment, Nashville. I mean, it was the perfect setup for conversation. Let's just say that, because you were coming off of Broadway, you're walking through the red carpet, and you're coming into this room, so everyone kind of had a little buzz and a little glow going. Obi, I had a couple cocktails with our boy Leggy at the pool before the event.
Leggy sighting.
I wasn't too tipsy, although Leggy definitely had a couple. And then, shortly thereafter, the awards went on. I got a great seat in the awards. I watched Connor go up and win the Ted Lindsay right off the hop.
You stayed for the awards? You stayed for the awards?
I watched an hour of it.
What a pro. You stayed for the awards.
Yeah,
I would have bet my last $1 that you would have thrown that microphone to fucking Tappen and been, see you boys, I'm heading to anywhere but here. Anywhere but here.
Bourbon steak after. I went to Bourbon Steak with flowers after. So we had a nice dinner. By the way, this place is at the Hyatt. Not at the Hyatt. It's at the JW Marriott Obes. It's 30 floors up. Great steak, great smoky old fashioned. A nice way to kind of close off a little event, but I mean, it was fun. It was a great time. I went to the tin roof sighting both days I was there. Tootsie's always, even Bill Guerin stepped up to the podium at the draft and talked about Tootsie's and just how well they welcome the hockey, community. Just a great time.
That's why he's a beauty, by the way. That was just just a great guy.
Great guy. Not sure for Bill Guerin. He comes on TNT. He gives his personality to it. He answers questions the right way. He gives a little spice. It's exactly what hockey needs.
He just traded for the big rig. Well, I'll take the big rig. Bring him in here, eh? I'll take the big rig. I'll give you a little 7th rounder for the big rig. Come on in.
Totally. Well, he loses Revo. Of course, he's got to replace it with a beauty. So
100% is I should know this, but is Patty? No, he's from St. Louis, not Minnesota. I didn't know this, but still a Midwest kind of, right?
He's a Midwest cat, yeah. I mean, and the guy's, he's a glorified winner now, so he's very decorated, and it's exactly what Minnesota needs. Anyway,
how about who was your favorite guest? You already touched on that. Best outfit. Well, let's get into this though. Let's get this guy a beer presented by our good friends at the Bat Blue. The Updogg's got one humming there.
I got two.
Listen, people are probably starting to think I'm probably a little biased for Matty Tkachuk, and I am. But from what I saw, get this guy a beer on his blue suit that he wore at the awards, Updogg. I mean, it was just, I don't know if it was the light hitting it at the right or that to me was NHL. Matty, great suit. Get yourself a blue light.
Buddy, it was pretty tight. I got to say, he had it, he had his arm in a sling, Obes, for most of the weekend. He's pretty banged up, but it didn't stop him from having a cold one or two. But he definitely brought the heat. And you have to in Nashville. It's the awards ceremony. It's like when you get your draft suit, and you go to you probably didn't go to the draft, did you?
I didn't go to the draft, no.
Sorry, don't touch the subject.
I didn't even know. I don't care. It worked out all right. But I didn't even own a suit. I didn't even own a suit then.
Hugo Ross dressed for less. My agent paid for it. I had to pay him back, after I got my signing bonus. But listen, talk about outfits and some talent. This Alana Springsteen, I don't know if you've seen her. She's a young country singer. She kind of just randomly poked her head into, our booth and started talking with us. She had on sick Jordans, a backwards hat, had like a beautiful smile. And I'm like, wow, what's your name? I had no idea who she was. And she's like, oh, I'm Alana, and I'm, singing tonight and presenting an award. And, I love hockey. And I'm from
She got your attention. She got your attention a little more than Connor Hallbuck got your attention, eh? Just to say.
Yeah, I got it.
You're like, well, here we go.
No, listen, she got up on stage and sang a great tune, and she's this up and coming, she's amazing. She's great. So
yeah, no,
it was nice that they implemented a lot of good country acts. And then, but by the way, Dirk Bentley, I mean, he's a stud. He's a huge hockey guy too. He loves Gosser Ranch. His little guy basically went up there. His little guy interviewed Matty Tkachuk and did a great job. But Brooks did an incredible job. Brett Kissel, amazing job, getting up and singing. It was It was a good event, which is why I stayed for the awards, to be honest, because it was in Nashville. Had this thing been anywhere else, I probably would have
Fucking
just said, I'm not here.
cannot believe you stayed. Way to represent the company. I cannot believe you stayed for the actual awards. I would have been out of there immediately. Like you just went in there and sat with who? Tappen and just
No,
sat there and watched them?
no, I had a great little. They put me in a seat. I just randomly was like, you know what? I'll go sit down. And the lady's like, I got a couple extra seats that are right here. I was probably
You
20
were
rows back.
you'll seat filler. Hey, have a seat here, fella. Have a seat. Have a seat here.
Exactly. I mean, our boy Flowers sat next to Joe Sakic, and who else did he sit next to? I mean, this guy was right in the heart of it all. Talk about a guy that was way over his skis.
Don't clump me in with our boy Flowers, all right? It's your fucking boy Flowers, okay? No, I wasn't the one hanging out with him in Nashville, so
No, I wasn't either.
no.
He just showed up.
I know he's. I figured that, but Updogg put a little wrap on the awards, but staying with get this guy a beer. Sweet Lou Lamoriello. I chirp him a lot. We make fun of him sometimes or call Lou Island and stuff like this. But once again, gets 4 of his guys re-signed. So I'm going to say to the Godfather, Sweet Lou, get this guy a blue light. I don't know how you do it, but he did it again, Updogg.
I know. It's crazy. I mean, he's just when you think he's probably wanting to be done, if not the Islanders hadn't had that much success in the last few years. Like, is it worth keeping Lou Lamoriello around? And he does this. And all guys that probably could have walked, a couple guys could have walked and signed big tickets, and he managed to keep them all there. And a couple for 7-year deals.
Yeah, I think we were touched on it a bit. Like, I joked that if I was in the NHLPA right now, I'd be going to Marty Walsh. I'd be like, let's fucking strike here, boys. Are you kidding me? We got guys signing 1-year deals. Bertuzzi 1 year at 5.5. People say, I want to go to a winning team, Obes. I get it. But if he goes out tomorrow night, if he goes out opening night and fucking blows out his ACL or, whatever, I mean, you can't play this game forever. Yeah. And at the same time, the cap's going to go up in a couple of years. I think these guys from the Islanders went out and got, like Scott Mayfield, for example. Prince, if you can look up what his AAV was, I thought that was a guy that was going to, hit a home run. I guess he did for 3.5 a year in Long Island he got?
7 years, 3.5. Yeah, same with Pierre Engvall, 7 years, $3 million.
Yeah. So, I honestly thought Scott Mayfield was going to get more than that on the open market. As a big right-handed D-man, I thought he was going to get 5. And I guess the deals just weren't out there. And Lou said, hey, I bet you Lou warned them up. I bet you said, okay, you guys want to go test the market? Go test it.
Yeah.
Give me a buzz after you get a little taste of her. And they went, well, I can go here for 2 years. Why would I leave Long Island for that? He's just a smart guy, Lou, is what I'm saying.
He's got a couple blue lights there. Labatt blue lights up his sleeve is what he's got.
Yeah, he sure does. And I want to give some love to Princey's former GM. Get this guy a blue light, Brad Treliving. I thought Brad was crazy taking this job. He has come in past July 1st. Austin Matthews now has a no-move clause, so good luck with that, Brad. I love the Max Domi pickup. I love the Klingberg pickup on a 1-year deal that now gives Morgan Riley a legitimate offensive, right-handed D-man to play with. I think they'll start that way. We'll see what happens. The Camp deal for 2.4, that one I don't know, Brad, but I think he's coming up and done a good job of not panicking, right? I'll be honest, I probably would have panicked. I would have been like, I got to fucking – he hasn't panicked. I love the Domi pickup. I'm just going to say let's give Brad Treliving a blue light because I think he's been a veteran since he's been there.
Absolutely. Listen, I had him as assistant GM. He didn't have much time in this situation. He had to deal with Sheldon Keefe, the coach. He had to deal with the hockey world talking about Austin Matthews. It was the only story we all heard for a month leading up to July 1. He'll address that later. The Ryan Reeves pickup, 3 years, 135, addresses the fact that they're not going to get beat up. They're not going to get blown out of a building in the playoffs. They're not going to, run into, a team that's going to try to bully these guys anymore. And then you touch it. You're a D-man. Having that right-hand shot with Morgan Riley is great. So that's a great pickup. And then I thought the Boston Bruins were a better team when Bertuzzi got there. They had some guys got hurt, and he stepped in and was a great player. I think it's a great deal. I think he did good. So tip your cap to Mr. Treliving. Great job on July 1, my man.
Yeah, I forgot about the Bertuzzi one. And the Revo one. And Revo, I was hung cheese here getting home, just trying to recuperate. And it's July 1, and I got my Canada shirt on, but I'm not really doing much celebrating. And I'm watching the free agent frenzy. And, they're talking about. Thank God Updogg's on that show, and Noodles is good too, and Hazy. The Overdrive guys are good, but the rest they could use a little seasoning if you ask me. But there's no more fighting in the game. Mike Johnson, this guy. There's no fighting in the game. What do you need Revo for? What do you mean this and that? And they bring Revo on, and he says exactly that. Well, I know there's no fighting, but I hold guys accountable during the regular season. Then come a 7-game series, I'm going to get on the forecheck, hunt pucks, get on D. That's how I wear down defensive for the course of a playoff series. And that's absolutely right. Like, I thought the one thing about, the one mistake Minnesota made this year, and I'll go back to reffing Updogg in the playoffs, was the reffing, the way it was reffed, Revo couldn't get going. So I like the pickup. I think he brings swagger to the dressing room. He can still play, 10 minutes a night or whatever it's going to be. I think it's a great pickup.
Listen, Luch went back to Boston. I mean, Toronto, Boston, you gotta step it up. And then like a guy like Sam Bennett running around in Florida, like you got Revo there, it's a little bit of a different animal.
Totally. And I'll tell you what, not that I wouldn't tune into a Boston Leafs game on Saturday night, Hockey Night in Canada, but I'll be tuned in even more now. Luch and Revo are going to go once. They're both out there. It's going to bring some flair to to these two teams.
Yeah. It's great.
Maybe it
was an inside job from Sweeney and from our boy Tree Living. Like, hey, we know we're gonna fucking size each other up. Let's go get these two fucking heavies.
Yeah, and let them go after it. It was great. So I think Brad's done a good job. Prince, I know that's a touchy subject for you because he's left you back in Calgary up against the cap and nobody wants to resign there. You guys are fucking it. You guys are. Who's the GM in Calgary now? Oh, Connie.
It's Craig Conroy. Yeah, your boy Craig Conroy, who hasn't done jack shit.
He's such a nice guy, though.
He is a nice guy. He's well-spoken. You wish him the best. The guys that they want to play hard for Connie. Connie's been there for just as long as Tree Living, if not longer. But I'm still a fan of Tree Living, guys. Like, I like the moves that he made. Those are classic. Like, looking at them, those are classic Calgary moves that I was seeing year over year. I do know, I think it was like 2018 when Reeves went to Vegas. Calgary was his second spot. He was going to Calgary or Vegas. So, Tree Living circled back. So, no ill will for Tree Living. I think the Leafs look good. I love it. I love that tweet you put out there, Obes, that watching Boston Toronto is going to be so much better right now because that Boston Garden is going to be rocking the first time that Lucic drops those gloves.
Oh, yeah. But Brad, once again, can he get the superstars re-signed, right? Nylander wants 10 bananas a year. Like, Uppy, are you giving Nylander 10 bananas a year? Like, I just don't know.
How do you do it? How do you pay three guys over 30 million, 33 million? You can't.
You can't.
With no goalie, you can't.
Yeah. It's just like, as much as I'm sitting here liking the moves, you still look at his team. He's like, his job is just starting. But I like the fact that he hasn't panicked. He's trusting the process. But could you imagine if Austin Matthews leaves town with just see you later? I mean,
that's why there's got to be some heavy thought processes in the old war room there in Toronto at some point.
They're just getting started.
If the season doesn't start off right, and like Austin Matthews isn't feeling it, and Marner's, it's a full there's issues there. There's issues there because nothing's.
If I was Tree Living, I'd go to the media day one, be like, if any of you guys asked Austin Matthews a stupid fucking question this year, you're not allowed in the rink. All right, you're not allowed in the rink. Just leave him alone until we get this guy signed or whatever. Just don't ask Austin dumb questions here for the first couple months, okay? Till we get him.
Yeah, he will not be available. He will not be available for any of you idiots.
He should go Lou Lamoriello style from Austin Matthews' first year where he wasn't allowed to talk to the media. He's just be like, you know what, Matthews, this year, just sitting here, buddy, and snapping around and don't worry about it.
Have a hot tub, have a soak, have a sauna.
Yeah. And then last but not least, I want to get this guy a beer. And this is one of your former teammates who I know you loved. Is Joel Edmondson getting traded to the Washington Capitals? Updogg, I'm going to put my Caps hat on, bro. I'm going to cheer for these guys this year. They're going for one more. Obviously we know what Ovi's doing, chasing down not 99, but they're another veteran guy. I don't know. I think this team has one more run in them. I'm worried about Sid and Pitt, but I like this pickup. I hope Edmondson can stay healthy. I like him in Washington.
I do too, man. And I like the fact that people are still giving Pacioretty a shot at this, right? 2 Achilles tendon injuries.
Yeah, great.
$4 million 1-year deal. Guy can score. Basically, he can just fucking close his eyes and rip fucking pucks top shelf. Listen, Eddie, I caught up with Eddie at the Memorial Cup in Kamloops. And this guy is a guy you want on your team. He's such a great kid for us in St. Louis. He's been a great leader in Montreal. But a guy that's, plays fucking face first, fights, hits, is strong in front of the net, Obes. In the playoffs, you want these guys. Like, look at the way Vegas is built. And at the copycat league, you're starting to see it. Like, look at, I see Florida, for example. Florida going out and get 2 big D-men. Oliver Ekman-Larsson to a deal. And who else did they sign? They got
Kulikov.
But anyway, they pick it. You need to have depth in D to win in the playoffs. It's just no questions asked. And, for me, picking up a guy like Eddie, shocked that Montreal would keep 50% of his salary. Like, it's just, what kind of favor is there? What kind of favor are those boys doing? Who owes who? I don't know.
It's the only way you can get deals done right now. It's like, okay, I'll take half of it. You take it. We'll give another little bit to this squad here. But I forgot about Pacioretty, Updogg. So good point, my man. So right now you got Ovechkin, Kuznetsov, Wilson, Pacioretty, Backstrom, Oshie, Milano, Strome, Mantha. I might trade that Mantha away if somebody wants that big pussy. But other than that, that's not a bad squad right there. If they can, they're like us, Uppy. Can they stay healthy? Right? They're old. Yeah. Let's be honest, they're old. But I'm cheering for them, Ups.
Yeah, totally. Get these guys blue lights, ice it from the inside.
We should stock their dressing room with blue lights for them and just be like, boys, instead of practicing, just have one of these and just go home and rest.
Let's keep this old school and watch fucking Ovechkin break 99's record.
They have that new head coach. Who'd they hire as their head coach, Princey? The guy from Toronto.
Oh, that is a great question. I know that they took my guy from the Calgary Wranglers, Mitch Love, but I got to double check on the coach here. Give me a second here.
Yeah. He was a PP guy in Toronto.
Carberry,
yeah. Imagine that rookie coach going in there, Updogg. Like, what's he gonna really say? Like, I mean, or does he just maybe brings in some energy for these veteran guys?
But he makes sure the fridge is fucking full. Is all he does.
I would say full
of the blue lights.
Totally. And then you know how I feel about Darcy Kempfert. He's got one more Stanley Cup ring than me, but we will see. We will see, Updogg. So it's milk carton time. Updogg. I got to do it, buddy. I love Stevie Yzerman to death. He's one of the greatest hockey players. He's a great GM. He's a great guy for everything I heard.
I
got to put him up.
Don't do it. I gotta say, Stevie Y. I wore 19 because of Stevie Y. Don't do it.
Okay, I'm not going to put Stevie on there. But I'm just gonna put the Justin Hall contract in general on there. I'm not gonna. I'm not. Yeah, you're right. I'm just gonna put. And listen, Justin, I'm happy for you, buddy. We can't play forever. Updogg talks a lot of time about jealous stuff that happens. I'm extremely jealous of this contract. So I'm not putting Stevie on the milk carton. Uppy, thanks for walking me off the ledge. But I got to put the Justin Hall contract on there. I just got ups. It's a lot of cash.
It is. And buddy, you listen, you do your show every week. We do our show twice a week. You watch tons of hockey. You see the Toronto Maple Leafs. You've seen Hall flip pucks out and turn pucks over, and you can't stand watching it anymore. It's a good thing that you don't watch a lot of Detroit Red Wing games because you're not going to, even though he signed this deal, you're not going to have to watch him that much. But I truly have faith in that. But when you throw Stevie Y on it, if you did, I'm not sure if you did or did not yet.
No, I didn't.
I mean, he brought in. I'm looking at 7 deals this guy brought in. A busy July 1. JT Compher, 5 years, $5 million. I mean, that's a lot of money, but this kid's good too. He changed the dynamic of their team in one day, basically.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love Stevie Y. Compher's a great player. Klim Kostin, you know how I feel about Klim Kostin. Brought in Shane Gothenberg. Shane Gothenberg's a nice pickup. Maybe he plays with Justin Hall because Justin Hall can't stick handle. So like that to me is listen, Stevie, I know you're not listening, but I love you, brother. You made so many great moves. You built the Tampa Bay Lightning. We know what happened there. This team is ready to rock. So maybe that's why you overpaid and said, listen, I need a right-handed penalty killing defenseman. He said, I bet you if we had Stevie on this podcast and we hit mute and we went, does Justin Hall making too much money? He'd say, you're fucking right. He's making too much money, but I needed a right-handed D-man that could block biscuits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to overpay.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah. He must have had something else on the table that he was negotiating with. Cause I would not have started in the 3+ range with him.
I know it was.
But then again, man, there's all like July 1 is a day, Obi, where you really truly miss being an NHLer and being like in that prime time where you're like, all right, I just had a great year. Fucking, I'm hitting the fucking market. Let's go. And you see some of these deals, but you see some guys are sitting in the weeds without deals, and we'll talk about that. But the guys get paid. You gotta love it. It's like fucking race. You're in the National League and you're getting paid now. It's better to be in the overpaid club than the underpaid club because I've been in both. And I tell you what, I had a better enjoyable life when I was in that overpaid one.
No, for sure. And for Justin Hall, I don't know him. I'm sure he's a great guy. I want every hockey player to make as much as he wants. That just, to me, when I saw it, I was like, oh, baby, that's got milk carton written all over it. But I'm not putting Stevie on there. I'm going to blame somebody. I'm blaming their assistant GM maybe or whoever. Someone down the depth chart. Stevie, I'm not blaming you.
Stevie handles the forwards. He takes care of the forwards. He's not on the team.
Yeah, it's got to be somebody on the back end. Stevie, I'm sorry. Uppy's right. I love you. You're the man. Justin Hall, what a deal. Pat Verbeek. We're going to get to Pat Verbeek on a guy that here, back up the Brinks truck that he helped out tremendously. Listen, I don't know Leo Carlsson. I'm sitting here. I got to be honest with you. I don't even remember watching him play in the World Juniors. It was Sweden because I was just watching Connor Bedard do his thing. So I know nothing about Leo Carlsson. I saw Adam Fantilli at the Stanley Cup final. To me, on the eye test, that was the pick. So I'm putting the Ducks on the milk carton for their second pick. I hope Carlsson turns out great. I've never played with a bad Swedish guy up. They're all the nicest people in the world. But to me personally, I would have taken Fantilli in his size at number 2. Time will tell. But right now, that pick's on the milk carton.
Yeah, time will tell, buddy. Listen, this draft class, there was 2-3 names stuck out to me. I love what the Flyers did, going off the radar and picking a Russian that's very non-Flyer like. But I'm in the same boat as you, and the milk carton's there. What do you say about throwing Carey Price on the milk carton for just a little mishap that he did there at the thing? Listen, that can happen to the best of them. And I mean, Carey Price, fucking pretty buttoned up guy. I know him well, pretty buttoned up guy. Been hitting the head a lot with pucks, right? Like took a lot of fucking pucks off the mask. Easy to do. I would have went up there and probably froze too, man. Like he hasn't. What's he doing? He's not taking fucking public speaking classes. He's not ready to get up there and announce the first.
We did it in Nashville. Remember, we had to announce what's the country singer Walker Hayes. I had it written down. I had it written down on my hand. I was like, but we were drunk as a skunk. I don't know if Carey doesn't drink anymore, but I'm like, Uppy, give me a pen, and I wrote it on my hand right here. And you're like, you came out, you're like, Missin Curfew, and I'm like, please welcome Walker Hayes, but I had it on my fucking. I wasn't going up there blind.
I know, and who knows, man? Maybe before that pick, they went up to the top and they had 2 or 3 guys ready to pick, and they were down to the crunch time, and they said, "Fuck, okay, it's Reinbacher," and he didn't know. He's like, "Who?"
So he said the first guy's. He said his first name right. Then he went, "What's his name?" I mean, I thought he handled it as best he could after he forgot. I thought typical Carey Price fashion. He didn't panic. He just stayed in his butterfly. Was like,
what's he just covered the high part of the net.
He's like,
stick down.
He's like, what's his last name again? Oh yeah. Sorry. But man, Cons did it. You go up there and announce the first pick. That's got to be a lot of pressure up here. I don't know. I don't think I'd want to do that. Would you? I don't know.
No, I think it's cool. And you know what? I seen Crane Codroy get up and announce the Calgary Flames, and you can see the little Don Maloney, who was my GM in Calgary. No, my GM in Phoenix, who's now I believe the assistant, Princey, right?
Yeah.
He got up and he thanked Nashville, and he thanked David Poyle for all David Poyle's done for Nashville, and then he said, "Now I'll let our new GM Craig Conroy do it." And you could see the nervousness in Conroy announcing his first round pick. It's not
for sure.
It's not fucking easy, but I think it's something that you cherish and you. It's an honor, man, to get up and announce some young kid whose dream is to play in the NHL, and you announce his pick and you fuck it up.
I think it matters on the name. If you're drafting Mike Smith from the Kingston Frontenacs, I got this one, boys. But if it's some fucking Russian, you're like, do we really want to take this guy?
Yeah. Dmitry Shemazhev for the Coyotes.
You sure you want this guy? Let's take old Bill Lindsay down here. It's a little easier to say.
Let's take Will Smith. Yeah, fucking great.
Oh man, that's funny stuff, Updogg. So last but not least on the milk carton, and this is a milk carton from my heart. This is from my heart, your heart, and Loops' heart. I was up in Pine Canyon getting pinned when this came out, and Loops put a text to me and you. I saw that Corey Perry got traded from Tampa to Chicago, which, by the way, I think it's unbelievable. And Updogg, you kind of called what's going on here in Chicago, bro. Like, Taylor Hall gets another opportunity, right? Go play with Connor Bedard. Nick Foligno, I think, is a great pickup to get in there and just be a veteran guy. And then they bring in Corey Perry as well. I love what they're doing. But then I seen the 1 year, $4 million deal for Pears. And I had to think back, like, he didn't have a point the last 21 games of the season. And then he got one in the first game. Like, I love you, Pears, but I got to put you on the milk card for $4 million a year, fella. I got to do it, but congratulations. I love you. But it's $4 million a year for Pears. Come on, baby. Come on.
I mean, listen, there's one thing that can be said about what Chicago's done is that, this Davidson, there's no question that they're going to surround Connor Bedard with people that are loyal to the game, that you want to be around, that are great teammates, that have had success in other places, and they're going to protect him. And he's not going to just sit there and lose games and just get used to like this losing kind of culture mentality. There's no chance they're doing that with him. So they bring in and they pay for the Folignos and for the Perrys and the Taylor Halls. And I don't think they're done, but Chicago's got to be a place where there's so much excitement. Even when Darren Pang, our boy, signed on as their color guy, I go, smart play. I mean, you got fucking Connor Bedard. He's going to be the best player in the league he'll be chasing McDavid now, I believe, as that next generation, everyone's going to start to be like Connor. It's kind of that way, I think that's just a highlight. Chicago, I hope, comes back as a hockey culture, as a hockey, doghouse, and fuck, it's going to be awesome.
Hall, Bedard, Lucas Reichel. I don't know who that is, but he's getting a good opportunity. He's wearing 27. He's wearing JR's old number. How about this fourth line? Foligno, Donato, Corey Perry right now. Is there a chance we see Hall, Bedard, Perry? Are they going to bump Pears up and play with the young kid or what? Just like Pears, get up there and create a little space for him. I
mean, listen, so I don't know if we want to get into who's left, but you got to think some of these guys want to go play in fucking – is Phil Kessel going to sign there?
Buddy, why not? Well,
does Patty Kane go back and play with the kid? I fucking would.
Patty Kane right now is going to sit. Well, he's in the pool probably doing his rehab on his hip or whatever, right? He's in the pool doing the same thing as my boy Landy or our boy Landy.
Yeah.
He's going to sit back and see what kind of squad this is. And if they're a decent enough team, right? Yeah, I would think Patty Kane probably would say, I'll go back. But if they're just, if this doesn't work out, but you bring up Phil Kessel, why not? I mean, why not?
Yeah,
that would be a great spot.
Paul Stastny, why not go there? There's just
you're putting an alumni team together now.
I tell you what, great job of doing the fucking throwing honorary Updogg gold photos out there because it's free agency, and I love missing the game and I want to play, but
people think it's real.
I mean, I'd get in there right now and do some squats. I'd stop drinking right now, and I would get in there and do some squats if I knew I could come play for the Chicago Blackhawks team. I would.
I mean, I'll start believing in the Hawks if they bring back Bolin and Bufflin. Where's Big Buff? Let's get Buff on the blue line and Bolin fucking third line center. Now they got something cooking at the Madhouse again. But in all seriousness, Uppy, you said this earlier on that you thought this was the way they were going to go. And Pears, I'm just joking. I love you. I had to put that contract on the milk cart, but you deserve it for everything else you've done in this game. And I'm cheering for the Hawks now, Updogg. I'm cheering for him. I want to see him. I want to see him play well. So, back up the Brinks truck. Back it up, fella. Back it up right here to Orange County. Back it right up. Our friend and golf buddy Alex Killorn. Was it 4 years, 6 bananas? Is that what it was, boys?
Yeah, a little over. I think, right? A little over 6.
Little over 6, I think it was. Awesome. Great guy. Obviously, we know what he did in Tampa. I like this move, and I've been hard on Pat Verbeek, but I like this move from the perspective, and you made a great point up earlier. You said, who would you rather have, Ryan O'Reilly or Alex Killorn? And it's a great debate. I think Killer has a little more hop left in his step than the Fact Daddy, but Fact Daddy does so many other good things right down the middle of the ice. But bringing in a winner to rub shoulders with Zegras and McTavish and these young kids, I like this deal for the Ducks, man. I'm happy for Killer. He deserves it. It's a nice little little retirement package for him here his last 4 years in the league.
It is, man. And just what I look at, Obi, is the good guys are getting taken care of. And Alex Killorn is a good guy. He's a good team guy. It carries a lot of weight, man, when you are a winner and that you can go and change culture. And I think Kevin Shattenkirk's a big reason why Alex Killorn signed here. I think Shatty was probably, in the trenches with Killorn, making the calls, like understanding what kind of culture is Anaheim? What kind of city is it? What kind of, how is the new coach going to be? How is the GM? How is, the new practice rink? What are these young kids like? And how are they, how can I come in and kind of influence them and make them tick? It's kind of got to be the perfect package. I think 4 years is the right deal, because 2 years, I don't know if this team can turn this thing around in 2 years, Obi. This is going to be a little bit of a project, but I think Alex Killorn is a guy that can, set these guys straight. Alex Killorn walks in that dressing room. You have all those young players. You just mentioned them, Obi. They now know that fucking the Tampa Bay is a team that everyone wanted to be like the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And we got one of their guys that they didn't want to leave. They fucking offered him, I think, a 7-8 year deal on the table, right? But he's, how is Tampa Bay going to be in 7 years? I think there's a lot of decisions in Alex's choice to come here. But $6.25 million for 4 years is not too shabby. I told him, I said I'd be a sponsor at Big Canyon.
Yeah.
We take good care of him in that men's room.
I mean, if he's getting 6.2 here, now we're going to go into numbers, which is not my strong point, but if you're talking state tax to Florida to California, I wonder what Tampa was offering him, because, when you bring in the tax here in California, maybe he just wanted to change the pace. I got to feel for Coop a little bit, not, he's got 2 cups, but, they get rid of Perry, they get rid of the big rig, they get rid of Killorn. I know how much those guys meant to that dressing room and stuff. So Uppy, it's a turning of the page, so to speak, in Tampa now. They went with some more youth, so we'll see how that plays out for those boys as well.
Yeah, did you just mention Gudas at 3 years, $4 million?
No, you just teed me up right here. Back it up. This guy might not be getting an invite to Big Canyon here. I don't know. Gudas doesn't look like a golfer, but I don't know if he can afford Big Canyon, barely at $4 million, but he can afford it. But I don't know if I'm going to see him in the men's grill having a fucking glass of wine with the Updogg after. No. What if you bump into him? What would you say to him at Fashion Island or
I don't know.
Foods? What would you say?
I'd say, you fucking caught me twice, you fucking bastard. You almost knocked my head off one time with an elbow. And then I got him back with the Gatorade bottle. But what he's done, man, is to revive his career. I remember watching a playoff game. It was Flyers and maybe Boston. And it was we were watching at Lupul's house and you were there. And he had one of the worst games in the playoffs I've ever seen. And I was like, he's going to be lucky next year if he gets a deal. I truly thought that. And then this is probably 3 years ago. And now he's back to where he hits free agency as one of the top fucking marketable guys, well known throughout the league, hard to play against, was very effective in the playoffs. You seen what he did against Toronto. You seen the shutdown he did against Carolina, playing with a high ankle sprain. I mean, it kind of got all the tools in the book for playoff hockey, right? Like a guy that's just going to put his face through the wall and block shots and be a fucking asshole. And that's what you want. And that's what the Ducks need. So maybe I will fucking swing it with him. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, no, it will make the Ducks games more entertaining to watch. And I watch a lot of Ducks games. It'll be interesting to watch him run around and stuff. But, I mean, I was way off. I thought he's just take a hometown discount and stay in Florida. I didn't think – let's be honest here. As much as I love Matty Tkachuk and what happened in Florida, they fucking just about missed the playoffs here. And Radis Gudas was a big reason why they were going to miss the fucking playoffs. A real big reason. So how does Mark Stahl get 1 year, 1.1 in Philly, and Gudas gets $4 million? I guess he's got a better agent is the answer to that question. But I don't know about this deal, Uppy. I agree with everything that you said. And that's how I prided my game of kind of how Gudas plays. But I don't know. Well, time will tell on this one. But he's definitely it'll be exciting, good or bad. I don't think there's going to be, the deal is, it's either going to be he's bought out in 2 years or, wow, what a signing. It worked. It helped them rebuild. But
I don't know if you're going to say I don't know if that argument's going to be, wow, what a signing. But But it's, fuck, he earns it. He's got, 15 points a year and he blocks some shots and he's an asshole.
Yeah, he does block them.
If they get into the playoffs. But part of me is like, don't you want this guy just in the playoffs? Like, is Anaheim going to get in the playoffs? I don't know.
I don't know. No, they're not going to get the playoffs. As much as I love
that's the way I feel is you're paying a guy $4 million. Like, he doesn't play like that all year long. You can't.
No, of course.
But maybe it's just his presence in the room that's going to get these young guys kind of walking on eggshells, being like, fuck, this guy might fucking elbow me in practice if I don't, if I show up hungover or something.
He may toughen. Hey, Z, keep your head up in practice. This guy might run Z over in practice, but how many grenades is he going to get where he's going to look back at Gudas and be like, fucking kidding me? This guy's making $4 million. It's fucking right in my boots. Like, come on here, brother. Like, come on.
That's funny.
But anyways, if I bump into him in Orange County, I'm going to go up and say hi to him just because I do respect his game. And like I said, for all the fellas out there listening, I'm happy for everyone because everyone that's the next player, we could use a little bit more money in our bank account. And when you're done playing, it ends quickly. So in all seriousness, Updogg, all these contracts that I'm putting on the milk cart, I'm happy for these guys. Make the money while you can. But we also got a job to do here at Missin Curfew is to keep some people fucking honest, and let's be serious. couple of these are not going to age well, just like myself. So is there anything else you want to talk about here, fella? Or this is going to be a wrap here? It's basically
I can go get some more beer. They're in the fridge here, so I can continue to do this with you guys all day long.
I'm going to see you tonight for dinner, right? Are you coming to dinner? Are we going
to come to dinner? Yeah, I'm coming to dinner. I don't know if Christina's going to be there, but I'm going to poke my head in.
Okay, and then we got the July 4th festivities. You got an early flight to Spain the next morning, huh?
I do. I'm headed over to the wine country in Spain, I think, and then the islands, and then to Ibiza. Woohoo!
Are you going to Barcelona?
No, we're landing in Madrid, but heading right to San Sebastian. Supposed to be one of the most epic places to eat and drink in the world. And then we're going to Mallorca, which is a 3-4 day little like chill on the beach. We've got Padel, a golf course at our hotel. It's supposed to be world-renowned golf course there.
You bringing the wrenches?
I'm not bringing my wrenches, but I will bring my fucking Padel racket. I'm bringing my Padel racket and the shoes because Padel is huge over there, right? In Spain. It's kind of where it originated. So we're going to play some Padel. And then Ibiza for 2 nights, and I'm going to let it eat there. I haven't been back there since my days with the Flyer. So.
You guys are going to Ibiza with your girls, eh?
Yeah.
That could be interesting. That could be. Let me know how that unfolds. Fire me a group text when you guys land in Ibiza. I want to feel the temperature of how that plays out there. But
my girl, she can keep up.
Yeah, I know. I know she can, but even Ibiza might be hard for her, fella. But anyways, Princey, you the man, Updogg. I love you, buddy. Like I said, after this one, we'll have some curfew calls coming out. We got great off-season content. Princey, enjoy the weather back home there, buddy. I know it's short-lived for you guys, so enjoy it. Updogg, I'll fucking see you when I see you, fella.
Let's go, baby. I'll see you for some sushi tonight, fella.